Without its key players, the Detroit Pistons turned to Bey, Hammy, and Garzilla to step up. And they did, getting better and better each and every game, until finally earning a win against the Spurs. That energy and effort seemed to have sparked the entire team, even the players who were out, as the rest of the team came back with a winning attitude and focus, leading to the Pistons defeating the defending champs for the first time this season. Last video we talked about how Saddiq Bey is heating up. He's finally back to being that threat from downtown. Against New York, Bey finished with 6 triples. This is what the Pistons need from Saddiq. Once he's on fire, the paint is open. Then versus the Spurs, Bey caught fire from 3 late in the game. One of his game-winning shots was waved off on a bogus call, but Saddiq redeemed himself in overtime, hitting a 3 over a double team. Since last year, fans felt Saddiq had a clutch gene, and this game confirmed it, as he got the Pistons their first win of the new year. Saddiq finished with a double-double, securing 17 rebounds. Just insane hustle and effort. With most players returning for the Bucks game, I want to see would Saddiq stay aggressive from 3. He answered that with a resounding yes, knocking in 8 triples from beyond the arc.
House is on fire, man.
Come on, man.
It is on fire.
You gotta
House
run
is
up
on
on
fire.
that.
That can't happen, Ernie.
He's not even thinking about hitting rim at this point.
Special K said it best last night, the Bucks were stunned. Saddiq showed no mercy as he dropped 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. He has exceeded expectations in December and now January. One play I want to make note of is Saddiq's last 3 versus the Bucks. He came off 2 screens for an open look. This play is similar with the team runs for Frank Jackson. Usually Saddiq is just open, but this was by design. Teams will soon adjust to how they play him, so Saddiq will need to run these type of plays more often. Bey was the best shooter in his rookie class. Now in his sophomore season, he is one of the best shooters in the league. To start the season, Hamidou Diallo was out of the rotation. If you have watched Hammy play, you notice he speaks his mind to officials. And one day he said what was on his mind to Dwayne Casey, as he was subbed into a blowout. In hindsight, that clash was interesting, as Diallo is now dominating from the squad. And now he's permanently in the rotation. Diallo has had back-to-back 30-point games since becoming the second option, which is crazy as Diallo isn't a 3-point marksman. He's getting all his points from mid-range jumpers, the free throw line, and acrobatic finishes. We just started the new year and Hammy has some of the best dunks of the year already.
Hamidou for a dynamite dunk! What a throwdown!
Against the Bucks, Hammy had less shots but was still lethal. Once the team was raining 3s, the paint was open to attack. Diallo continuously was able to get to the rim, finishing over the defense of Giannis. On the flip side, Diallo has been a defensive monster. He had so many clutch plays on defense which put the squad in position to win. It's to the point where we need to start his campaign for the All-NBA defensive team. Versus the Bucks, Hammy finished with 11 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. Diallo is playing his best basketball of his life and it's resulting in wins. It took Omni and 50 injuries for Dwayne Casey to finally figure out Luka Garza can hoop. With no other centers on the roster, Garza is learning each game how to have an impact. Now these last couple games, he's learned from his mistakes, especially with fouls, playing both fourth quarter and overtime versus the Spurs. Beginning of the season, Luka tried to power over 7-foot centers, which wasn't working. Now he's using a variety of finesse moves to score. This kept the defense guessing, and ultimately the Spurs didn't have an answer for Garzilla. Known as a 3-point marksman, he's gone to the mid-range a lot as teams are daring him to take that shot. The major impact he's had is on the boards, 9 against the Knicks and 14 against the Spurs. His hustle led to extra possessions, which was big in crunch time. Last note on Garza, versus the Bucks, he hit this impossible shot. This just shows how everything was going for the Pistons. After being out of the rotation, then out with Omni, Josh Jackson had enough. He went into Milwaukee and took out all his frustration on the Bucks, more specifically Giannis and Boogie Cousins. JJ found himself guarded by the Finals MVP a few times, and it didn't matter as JJ was letting it fly. In fact, most of his 3s were over Giannis, which led to some trash talk. Then, just like Hammy, Josh was able to attack the basket. Even when missing, he hustled to keep plays alive. JJ finished with 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. With Frank and Grant out, Josh will have more minutes. And I'm cool with that, since he brings a different energy with him on the floor. Josh was getting the best of Giannis and let him know about it. The Bucks hung around most of the fourth quarter. That was until Cade Cunningham slammed the door on any comeback attempt. he sized up Giannis and drilled a 3. His shot sent a dagger through the heart of Bucks fans. But he wasn't done there. With 30 seconds left in the game, Cade followed up his own miss, putting Bambi out of his misery. MC has come up clutch time and time and again this season. With that said, what possessed him to take a 3 over Antetokounmpo? Well, let's look back at the offseason where John Beilein decided to fix Cade's shot. At the time, everyone, including myself, was up in arms. And maybe even Cade himself was confused on why his shot had to be adjusted. We can look back at the game against the Lakers. Cade gets his shot blocked by Anthony Davis, which basically ended the game. After that moment, MC's shooting became better, as he and the fans bought into what Beilein was selling. And now Cade feels comfortable pulling over taller defenders. After he hits the shot, you see some emotion from Cade. The Pistons have some new energy and we can see it. MC finished with 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. Killian Hayes had to leave the game late due to a foot injury. It didn't seem serious as he came back later to cheer the team on. Before all that though, he was playing a great game, playing his brand of basketball by finding his teammates to score. Half of his assists were to Cade, which is exactly what needs to happen. Another thing about Kill is this play where he comes off 2 screens for a mid-range pull-up. He scores off that mid-range with some consistency. Wish he would attempt more of them. Hayes finished with 5 points and 4 assists. Last topic I wanted to discuss was the Motor City Crews. Those players held things down while the Pistons were short-handed. Derek Walton Jr. made some great plays and made the sensational pass to Saddiq for the win. Also, Cassius Stanley played good defense and was able to knock down open looks. It's a relief knowing the Pistons have promising talent in the G League that they can call on. Honestly, these last few games have felt like how hyped the Summer League was, where we could see improvements each and every game. The clutch play from Bay and Cade is putting the league on notice, and it seems like the team as a whole is finding their identity. And that wraps up this video. The Detroit Pistons start 2022 the right way. Hope that sets a trend for the rest of the season. The squad has 2 more games on the road, at Charlotte then at Memphis. After that, they play at home versus the Magic. Should be a fun week for Detroit basketball. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe to see more Pistons content. On the topic of subs, this channel just passed the 300 mark.
This is Sparta!
Nah, for real though, shouts out to everyone who was here from day 1 till now. The love and support is always seen and appreciated. We are growing in tandem with the young Pistons, so whether the squad is going to the lottery or the play-in, we're gonna be right there with them. Alright everyone, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.